My third entry in the message to the black man. And before I get started here today, I want to put this disclaimer out there. And I put this disclaimer out there in front of in the beginning of all my videos, just so I can let it be known and let the record reflect, or not quote unquote let the record reflect, but let it be known for the record, should I say, right? This is not one of those channels where we come together and talk about, oh, the black man is this, the black man is that, and the white man holding him down, or come on here and um bash black women and this is not that channel. This is not that channel, and that's what you're looking for. It's plenty channels out there in YouTube for you to enjoy, but this is not one for you. I just want to let that be known, just out the gate. Excuse me. But this is a channel that is solutions based and solutions oriented. Because as we know, a lot of these channels where they doing all the things that I asked for mention, they have no solutions, right? No solution, just a whole bunch of rhetoric that people want to listen to. People of the working people without listen to me. People without ruling class minds to go listen to and feel good about wherever they at in life, whatever they at in their situation, and it's somebody else's fault. So those channels are basically coping mechanism for foolishness, for failure. But this channel is geared toward black kings. Every black man is not a black king. We do have some black men who don't know they kings, and by them not knowing that they kings, they participate in things that king don't participate in, right? And that's what my channel for. For people like the lost kings and for the kings, the black kings, right? I have a series for black women. I have a series for the black community as a whole. But this video right here gonna be geared strictly to the black man, the black king once again. Because a lot of these liberal blacks, these mama's boys that were raised by their mama, and don't get it twisted, this channel is also for men who was raised without their father, because a lot of men that was raised without their father don't really have a sense of direction. They don't really understand life, because as we know, a woman can't teach a kid, period, a lot, but for sure a young black boy, by the time he's 10, it's done. His mother no longer can teach him anything. That's it. She can't. She can't. It's not nothing about whether she love him or hate him. It's nothing that she have to teach him once he reach the age of 10. Right? And so, but a lot of these mama boys, not all of them, but a lot of them, they everybody not gonna be saved. Let's get that understood. It can be a million YouTube channels, a million whatever you want, whatever these crying woke blacks, these liberal blacks is crying for. You can give them all that and still won't help, because they dealing with a spirit issue. And see, when you're dealing with a spirit issue, you need spiritual fixing. Because it doesn't matter what you do on the outside. It doesn't matter what you have on the outside. It doesn't matter what you accomplish on the outside. None of that is going to fix that spirit issue. So these blacks who take these type of opportunities, which I'm about to speak on, what happened with the young brother Todd Nichols in Memphis, these brothers who take these type of opportunities to blame the white man, which is, we know in this situation there was no white man, but they take these type of situations to loot, steal, and holler about why they hate the cops and all this, just a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah with no solutions, right? This is the Negroes I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Negroes who hush when a little girl or a little boy gets shot in their head while on their Xbox or on their iPad, because some ignorant Negroes in the same neighborhood shooting without a target, and they end up having a stray bullet fly through their grandmother's house or through their mother's house or through wherever they stand at and hit them. But they very quiet about that. I'm talking about the Negroes who every single day In the inner cities, black on black crime is outrageous, but they don't say nothing about that. But when something like this happen, they overly emotional. They looting, they stealing, they crying by this white supremacy, police supremacy, just a whole bunch of crime with no solution. Those Negroes, I'm not for them. Those Negroes, listen, those type of Negroes, um, this channel is not for them because why is that? They cannot be helped. No help for those brothers. It's no help for those brothers. It's no help for those brothers. Those brothers are the brothers who are going to die in the street, die by another liberal black that was raised by his mama that don't know how to control his emotions. This is they fate. I can't change it. Matter of fact, God can't even change it. Why did I say God can't change it? God can't change it because they not going to even give it to God. They don't even have that mental or spiritual wherewithal to go to the Most High and lay their burdens down. So it's not about so in other words, God, it's no help for those brothers. They gonna continue, and some of them gonna just die out. Like you got a whole bunch. I always talk about these older black men, quote unquote, supposed to be our elders. They just as dumb. They still big because at the end of the day, the liberal black, all he really want, he just like Martin Luther King. He don't want no transfer of power, transfer of wealth. Yeah, every now and then they'll tease the little reparation, but what the liberal black mostly want is a hug. He want a hug from the liberal white, or he want a hug from the white person. Period. But the liberal white is the one who offer him that hug and ponders to him and tells him, "Yeah, man, the police are playing target practice with y'all." But the liberal right will never tell them, well, y'all get the respect y'all give. Y'all don't respect yourself, so why should the cop respect y'all? Right? And I'm not justifying no cop killing nobody. I want to be clear on that. I want to be clear. Right? But what I'm about to touch on today is this situation that has the nation, quote unquote, in uproar, uprising, behind a brother who was beat to death in Memphis by the name of Tyre Nichols. Now, I want to be clear. Once again, it's some black men out there right now who are quote unquote kings that haven't been crowned. And there also are kings out there. I was one of those at one time. Just about 5 or 6 years ago, I was one of those liberal blacks crying about the white man doing this. It never was my fault. It was always somebody else's fault. That's basically the mindset of these liberal blacks. The majority of them was raised by mama. And so this is the way their mindset works. They can't help themselves. Because as we know, when you have a vehicle, I'll give you an example. I had a BMW at one particular time in my life. And that BMW took 93, the highest octane gas at the gas station. And if you put 87 in it, unleaded or super unleaded, it wouldn't run how it was supposed. Of course, it would still run, but it wouldn't run how it was supposed to run. You wouldn't get the torque or the horsepower that you would get, that you're supposed to get if you put the right gas in it. And I know that because it was a situation that we had a hurricane one time and no gas station had gas, and no gas station that you could find gas at, all they had was unleaded. That's all they had. So I was forced to put that in there, right? And so a lot of these young men are being raised by liberal black women, which is not black queens. Liberal black women are not black queens. Let's get that understood. They are the bottom of the barrel. They scum of the earth, just like the liberal black man. But the issue is a lot of them are raising these young men. And so they don't understand discipline. This is why we have killing. This is why in the inner cities, black on black crime is outrageous. Because majority of these young black men are being raised by liberal black women who is filled with emotion, anger, and hate. And they project that on the child. They impose their will on the child. And this is how the child is raised, with hate, anger, and emotion, like his mama. No form of direction, discipline, or structure, as if which is he would have if his daddy was around him, but all he got is mama energy. So whenever he get in an altercation with somebody, a verbal altercation, it has to automatically turn physical. Why is that? Because he cannot control his emotions, and he's very compulsive, like the liberal black woman, right? And so also these have the situations come about like what happened to the brother Tyre Nichols. Now, before I get into his situation, I want to be clear on this here. I'm not saying that he deserved what he got. There's a lot of rumors out there that's stirring about why the situation took place. And you can go watch the video for yourself if you have not already watched it. But as we know in this video, this brother refused, right, to comply several different times, and even one time fled away from the officers. So let's go back to something that I spoke about in a video several videos ago. You can go check out my channel. Also, I'm going to put my link in my bio because I have a lot of other lectures that I gave throughout the years, and anybody can learn from them, but a lot of things I do is real toward the black man and the black woman, or quote unquote the black king and the black king. Because some of these black men and women, the liberal black men and the liberal black women, is no help for them. And moving forward, they either going to be reformed or removed. I don't care where they at right now. They might be first now, and this includes a lot of celebrities. Trust me, this includes a lot of celebrities. So they may be first now, but they gonna be last very soon. Sooner than they understand. This is why the scriptures say the first will be last and the last will be first. Because a lot of the people who are in the knowledge and have a brain right now, they seem like they might be last right now. But moving forward, because a lot of people don't see it, because a lot of people are not spiritual, but the shift has already took place. And when it manifests fully, the last will be first and the first will be last. Why is that? Because majority, like I said, the people of the first are liberal blacks. And liberal blacks moving forward, whether it be a woman or a man, they're going to be reformed or be removed. They're going to be peasants or casualties. We're not going to have no time for dead weight moving forward. But that's not here or there. What I want to speak on this Tyre Nichols situation. Now, this brother, I don't know his criminal history. He didn't deserve to get beat like he got beat. But black man, black king, rather, when are we going to stop being reactive instead of proactive? When are we going to stop that? When are we going to stop doing what we doing now? Crying, rioting, and all of the nonsense that we do after one of these situations happen, versus teaching the black man, the black king, how to be proactive. And I'm going to be one of those voices to be that. Hopefully you listen all the way through, because I'm going to give you a few. Like, once again, this is a solutions-based, solution-oriented channel. So we're not going to be on this channel just crying about the problem. We're going to be giving solutions. And you notice when these type of situations happen, it's always an excuse. He was having mental health crisis. He was on drugs. Listen, none of that is the police issue. I'm sorry to break your heart, liberal black man. Because that's the only person's heart that I'm going to break. See, the underground king, the king that ain't been crowned and already king, they understand what I'm saying. I'm speaking the language I'm speaking is their language. I might be speaking foreign language to a liberal black right now, because he not going to get it. He want a hug from the white man. He just want to be friend with the white man. He want the white man to love him. He want the white man who just so happen to be one of the people that's in power right now to treat him fairly, which is, why would, I always tell Negro, why would the people in power, the power that be, whatever race and color creed they is, why would the power that be that is currently in control give the black man equality? Why would they stop treating the black man like they do? For one, we don't force them to. by our action. But not only that, what they have been doing have been working for them. And why would somebody that's in authority give the black man or the black woman who don't even demand it, why would he give them equality when he in power? Why would that happen? Why? Because he know that dealing with the majority of black man or black woman, listen, I can get them a little bit of money and they don't care. They'll sell out the rest of them. I don't have to give them no equality of power as a whole race. All I gotta do is pick one of them and give them, and one of them, take them out the hood, give them some jury, give them some money, and they'll mislead millions of more black people to kill each other and have babies out of wedlock and just continue and to add into the destruction of the black community. That's all I gotta do. Yeah, you think these rappers get paid so much? You think these rappers get paid so much just because they can rap? Don't get it twisted. Yes, they very talented, a lot of these rappers. But why they get paid so much money? Because what they does is they add to the problem. They add to the problem. So I could take a little baby or NBA young boy or a little Dirk out they hood, give them millions of dollars, and the stuff that they rap about, right? The stuff that they rap about, not only the stuff that they rap about, but the lifestyle that they live, gonna make Negroes in the hood want that lifestyle. And they gonna do whatever they take to get it, whether it be sell dope and poison their own people, it does not matter. They wanna live like Lil Baby. And if a nigga trip on or if any kind of issue in the hood, man, we bumping that young boy, we about to ride on something. So they know if we take one or two rappers out of each neighborhood or each city, each state in the United States, give them money, the powers that be. I'm not giving no other race no power over me by saying their name. I'm going to just say the powers that be because there's more than one race that's doing it. But I know if we can empower this one or two black, he going to mislead a whole group of other black that's either going to go into the prison system or the graveyard. One out of the two. And because most black people because most blacks don't understand who they are, they go right. They listen. The plan is working perfectly. Now, once again, voices like mine is for the black king. The ones who've been crowned and haven't been crowned is no help for the liberal black once again. Right? And you may say, well, you said you was a liberal black. No, I was a liberal black. I shouldn't even say it like that. I was a king that wasn't crowned yet. So when I got the knowledge, I was able to take a big gulp and swallow it. A lot of blacks is not going to make it to that point because they refuse to accept the action that they're doing that's bringing this destruction on their own community. And so they blame it on other people. So let's go back to the Ty Nichols situation because I kind of got drug out a little bit. When are we as a black community going to stop being reactive and be proactive? And first thing we can do by being proactive is making sure we have fathers in our lives that teach us structure and discipline, that teaches us how to respect authority. So when we get pulled over by police, we able to respect. I remember when I was younger. Excuse me. I remember when I was younger and I had a few run-in with the laws and I would be with my friends. They would always be very disrespectful to the police and or try to escape. I never did that. Why was that? First of all, I already knew I was in big trouble when I got. A lot of them, they wasn't gonna get in no trouble because their mama was working double shifts. They basically was raising themselves. And I was, of course, that's another video I got on my channel, and I'd like y'all to check the link in my bio. That's why I made a video on why you should choose your children's friends, right? But that's not a video. Go check the link in the bio. I got a video on that and why you should choose your children's friends. That is until they're 18, because once they're 18, you have no more control for this on what they're going to do in their life. But those 18 years you invested, your voice should always be your voice and the Most High's voice should always be the loudest voice in their head when they faced with something that's going to get them in trouble or just be potentially bad to their life. Your voice and the Most High voice should be the louder if you put what was supposed to be put in them those 18 years, right? But going back to the Ty Nichols situation, um, and so and another thing I will always know, not only because I wouldn't disrespect authority, because that wasn't tolerated in my house. A lot of things in my house I was able to get away with, but one thing about it I was never able to get away with under no circumstance, and what no nil and buts about it was me disrespecting authority, whether it be a teacher, a police, or anybody in authority, a coach. My parents didn't take it lightly, especially my father. Not to mention that, by me coming up in a home with a man and a man fussing at me certain times, I was able to deal with a police officer raising his voice and giving me direct orders and listen to him because I was familiar with a man's voice in the home. A lot of these young black men are not. And the first black men, that's why a lot of them don't get into sports, or they get into sports and don't last, because as soon as the coach start hollering at them too much, they get in their feeling, they soft, because they were raised by their mothers and grandmothers. And so some of them don't play sport, but go move on in life. And the first time they have a run in with the police officer and they don't turn it out their way, they automatically get into mama mode, emotional, compulsive, argumentative, instead of respecting that male authority in that present time. Because why is that? They never had male authority to respect in the household. And we know these black mothers, especially these liberal black mothers, and it's not always a situation where it's just black, that's just black women. It's not always, I'm not gonna beat them up for this particular thing. It's bad, but I'm not gonna beat them up for it because I understand it. A lot of these black women, I done dated them sometimes, these single mothers, they will tell their children 50 times, especially the young men, they'll tell the young men 50 times to do something. And so the young man goes through life thinking that people is going to tell him more than once to do something. These other children in the neighborhood that's being raised by single mothers that's packing guns, they not going to tell you more than once. And guess who else not going to tell you more than once? Mr. Police. Mr. Police is not going to tell you more than once, especially a different race than you, black man. Why is that? Because they are afraid of you. Why is that, black man? You earned it. Because every time they look up, whether it be a rapper or even us, even athlete, they overly angry, emotional. They violent. They want to fight, kill, or do something violent. So these police officers not gonna put their life in jeopardy because they not black, so they don't really understand the black culture, right? And so all they know is what y'all represented by on these TV screens, and how y'all over even I was telling somebody about Shannon Sharp, the situation. I don't know if you guys seen it, when Shannon Sharp got all overly emotional to the point where he was ready to storm on the court and fight a basketball player just from a words of exchange, and he was an audience member. I mean, he was in the crowd, and it just shows, just like black people just cannot know, rich or broke. They could be broke, they could be rich. Now Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Fame tight end. He got his own big time daytime talk show. If he was gonna talk trash on the court side, that's fine. But when the player talk trash back, you gotta get that overly emotional to the point where you ready to fight him, fight another player on the team farther in the crowd. You just to the point where you had to be restrained by security. And as we know, Shannon Sharp was raised by who? His mother and his grandmother. Right? Right? You can't make this stuff up, man. If you wanted to, you just can't. And even though this man is a quote unquote man's man, played sports and did all this, he still at 50 something years old got that woman energy living on the inside of him. Why is that? Because in his formative years, which is the ages of quote unquote 2 to 10, right? He was being raised by women. Majority his grandmother. And so at 54 years old, having the great life that he have and the man life that he lived, football player, that's one of the, toughest sports in the world. You would think he toughened up and he all man, but he's still that female energy that was planted in him in his formative years is still inside him, and it's a full tree now. And the only thing that can tear it down is if he come to the Most High, right, and be born again, and then he will be who he rightfully supposed to be, a man, right? But that's another story. And so speaking on the Tyre Nichols situation, I don't know if I want to make this video in the entry to a message to the black community, man, because I'm speaking some stuff on here. But, man, I'm going to just make this for the message to the black king because, listen, man, listen. First and foremost, as I just said, as a black man, you not going to get the benefit of the doubt like a lot of other races are going to get. And I'm anti-victim, but I will rectify the truth. And the reason why you not going to get the benefit that the other races get, because with the people who look like you, may not be you, but with the people who look like you, project to the world from the so-called black man, I ain't going to say the so-called, from the black man, is that he's violent. He's overly emotional. He's angry. So this is what's being projected. Everywhere we go, no matter who it is, rappers, steady getting killed or killing somebody, the rappers, the athlete, and all these people who you see, this is what they see. Every day in the inner cities, blacks are being gunned down. This is what they see. So even though you might be a lawyer. You might be a lawyer. But soon as they pull you over and you give them one problem, they don't know what's going on with you now. How can we avoid this, though? What can we do? You telling us all the issues. What can we do to stop this? I'm about to tell you right now. First of all, like I said earlier, have a relationship with your father. If he's not in the home, make sure you have a strong, tight relationship with your father. And for a lot of brothers, that stage is too late. So we're going to just sweep that one away. I got one simple word. The answer to that question, I got one simple word. I'm going to spell it out first, then I'm going to pronounce it. C-O-M-P-L-Y. Comply. Comply with the officers. Go watch this video and see the hard time that this man gave these people. Go see. And so by the time that they got him, they was overly frustrated. And they was wrong for what they did. And they going to be judged on earth for what they did. They don't repent. They going to be judged in the afterlife for what they did. And for all y'all talking about, well, and because, liberal black going to always find a way to try to blame somebody, bring the white man in it. Because the black, like I say, the liberal black, that's all they want is a hug from the white man. So they gonna always try to find a reason to bring him in something, even if he don't got nothing to do with it. Well, why don't other white cops get the same treatment? They did this fast. They acted fast by arresting and charging these black officers. They don't do that to white officers. Not the truth. Situation with George Floyd, the next day after that, all the officers were fired, and within a few days, they were arrested and charged. It took 3 weeks for these black officers to be charged. 3 weeks. So leave that argument out of it. The officer that killed Breonna Taylor, the particular officer who shot it, was fired and charged immediately. Do your research before you start just talking out of your emotion. But we understand that liberal black, that's all they, no logic, no common sense, just emotion and anger. That's all they. And anytime you operating off emotion and anger, that's a zero turn. That's a dead end. That's a lose situation. And a lot of blacks, I hate to say it, man, these liberal blacks, they gonna continue to die in the streets at the hands of other liberal blacks, or they gonna continue to die by the police. But for my black kings, and for the black kings who haven't been crowned yet, and you maybe didn't have your father growing up and you don't understand, you young, take this video and I want you to save and listen to it over and over again. Listen, brother. Comply with the officer. I don't care if the officer tell you get out of the car, jump on one knee, rub your stomach, and tap on your head and say rubber baby bumpers. Do it. Do it. Worst case scenario, go in a prison cell. But do not fight, run, argue with the cops. Because when you do that, anything can come up out of that. And in the worst case scenario, you can be fatally killed. If you feel like you've been treated unfairly, Get that officer's badge number or get his name. He have no choice but to give you that information. He cannot refuse you that information. Get his badge number and or name. And if he's pulling you over 9 times 10, you might be about to get a ticket. All that information is going to be on that ticket. And if you get in a situation where you got caught for doing or committing a crime, but you still feel like he violated your right, that's all going to be on paperwork. You're going to have that, and make sure a report is filed by your public defender, your lawyer, and or your parents. And body cam footage will be revealed. And if you were right, trust me, take my word for it. If you don't take my word for nothing else, he will get taken care of. Worst case scenario, if it's something that's very serious, he will be terminated. But he will get brought into office. If any complaint that's filed against a police officer in this time is taken very, very, I don't know if it was always that way because I can't really speak on it, but I know for a fact now, any complaint that's filed against a man or woman officer that did an arrest or pulled somebody over, it's taken very, 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 very seriously. So if you feel like you was pulled over and treated wrong, and the police officers told you to jump on one knee, rub your stomach, and tap on your head, say rubber baby bumpers, guess what? Get his badge, his name number, and he won't do it to nobody else. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can promise you that he won't do that again because of your complaint. Before as you arguing with him, trying to flee him, not complying with him, going back and forth with him, that's never going to turn out for your good, ever. And you have situations like this, which is very sad and unfortunate for the young man's family. Hopefully he didn't have no children. This was just a nightmare. But it all could have been avoided. It all could. Listen, I could not even be making this video right now. All the stuff that's going on around the world where they about to get ready and loot and riot. The places like Atlanta where they already riot. Listen, all that could have been avoided if he'd have just stopped, put his hand on the car, and if he was in a situation where he was in the wrong, go to jail. Take care from there. But he didn't do that. And so now I'm making this video, and we had an issue that we have going on right now in the black community because of, around the United States right now, civil unrest because of him. And there's going to be other people who are going to be killed, injured, charged, and all kind of other stuff going to come out of the stuff, the reaction, all kind of stuff negatively going to come out of the reaction of what happened to him. When if the same people who crying, like that's why I say, these black leaders, fake black leaders, these phony black pastors, which is most of them, not all, these stupid brain dead athletes, bought and paid for athletes, actors, rappers, members of the Democratic Party, they don't care about you, black man. They don't, bro. But if they did, they'll be telling you right now what I'm telling you. And instead of pondering about this stuff and keep talking about it, they would be spending that same time and energy to tell you and to try to teach you on how to not allow this to happen to you or your loved one. But instead of telling you to comply, instead of giving you the instructions on being proactive from these situations happening again, which they going to continue to happen. They've been happening for 50, 60 years, and they getting worse. Instead of telling you what to do to be proactive of these situations, they telling you that it's white supremacy. They telling you that it's police brutality. They telling you that defund the police. They telling you, which is defunding the police and having police, the defund the police movement that started since George Floyd. Because of that, over 3,000 more blacks have been killed. Why is that? Because anytime you defund the police, that's going to hurt the inner cities more than it's going to hurt anybody else. That's how stupid and dumb and brainwashed and dumbed down and demoralized liberal blacks are. Because they pushing for a cause to have police removed and defunded when police is the ones who they need more than anybody. The white suburban people don't need the police. Even the white trailer truck trash people don't need it. I tell people all the time because they'll tell you, some of these liberal blacks tell you, well, the reason why the inner cities have a lot of crime is because they poverty stricken. That's not true, because if you go in a Mexican poverty stricken area in America, if you go into a white trailer park trash community of America, they don't have the crime that we have. They might have a little drug dealing or stealing, but the crime against each other when taking each other's life, they don't do that. Just blacks. So it's not a poverty issue. It's a spirit issue. It's a being raised without your father issue. It's issues that we can fix and nobody else can fix them but us and the Most High. Nobody else can fix the black man issue, the black woman issue, but himself and the Most High. It's not the white man's fault, and he can't fix it. He got his own problem. The Jew, all these other races that black people like to blame, they got their own issue. They can't fix yours. Only you can fix yours. Only the Most High can fix yours. And so, as I bring this video to a close, black man, this is my third entry in the message to the black man. Black man, when you have any run-in with law enforcement, I don't care where it is at, in your vehicle, when you walking, at an event, do what the officer tells you. If you feel like he violates your rights, take that up with his chief, take that up with his department. And I take that up with City Hall, take that up with your mayor. And I promise you, but I'm not going to even go that far as saying mayor, City Hall, which is you, if you pay taxes or if you don't pay taxes. You have that's public places. These people are public servants. But I guarantee you his chief and his department will take it serious. Especially in the time that we living in, black man. But do not hold court on the street trying to fight, argue. Just do what you're told in that situation. And understand that the person on the other side of that situation have a gun and he got a license to kill. And even if he don't got the license to kill and he gonna face charges like these men who did this situation to Brother Ty Nichols, guess what? You still gonna be dead, all beat up and hurt somewhere. Now, and like I say, if you cool with that, just go ahead and keep going. And like I said, I know a lot of liberal black gonna continue to die by police. It ain't gonna change for them. But my brothers who ain't been crowned yet, but you really keen because your bloodline, guess what, brother? Take this video and put it on repeat and share it with as many blacks as you know. Because this is getting out of hand, and it's a problem once again that not the police department can, nobody can fix but us. We got to fix our own issues spiritually and the Most High. That's the only two people who can fix the problem that's going on in the black community that's resulting in our death, whether it be from the police or the hands of another black man. But when you dealing with these law enforcement, bro, no matter what color or race they here, follow directions, comply, and if you feel like you wronged or been your rights being violated, make sure, please, listeners, I gotta put an emphasis on it. Make sure you get their name and or badge number. If you're getting a ticket, it's gonna be on the ticket. If you're going to jail, it's gonna be on the paperwork. All this stuff is public record that cannot be hidden. The badge number and or name of the officer who violated your rights. And once again, I always say this too. The 40 and under blacks, especially the liberal blacks, they are led and they follow and believe everything that the actors, celebrities, rappers, athletes say. And the 40 and over group, they only believe in the black pastors, the fake black leaders, like quote-unquote Sheila Jackson Lee, Cori Bush, Maxine Waters, Joy Reid, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all the members of the Democratic Party. That's who they follow and listen to. They don't think for themselves. And I want to let you know how all these people that I just named, whether the 40 and under or the 40 and over, the reason why these people let y'all know daily that they don't care about y'all, because why is that? If they cared about you, you know what they would be telling you, black man? Stop spreading your seed recklessly with women you know you're not going to be around, and that's going to lead that child to be raised without a father. Stop killing each other. Stop aborting your babies. A whole generation of black people have been killed in the womb. When you pulled over by an officer, forget whatever else come after. And when you get pulled about by an officer, put an emphasis on it. Just like they put an emphasis on every show and outrage on how they feel after the situation happened with Ty Nichols, when after the situation happened with Breonna Taylor, when after the situation happened with George Floyd, the same emphasis they put on that, they need to put the same emphasis on telling black men and women to comply with an officer when you pulled over. Comply. 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 Rights violated is ways to fight that. And the police department will not take it lightly on a complaint filed against an officer. Trust me, they not going to take it lightly. So I want to thank y'all for watching this, and have a blessed Saturday or whatever you watch this. Peace.